Hi guys, I know it's been extremely long since I've been on to update you with the process of our FET. So I just came on now to kind of bring you up to speed to where we are right now. So the last time I spoke with you guys, I informed you that I was doing 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of birth control, and I did the Lupron from October 14th until my ultrasound on October 20th. When I went for my ultrasound on October 20th, my lining was at an 7.5, I believe. So they wanted above an 8, of course. We hadn't started any of the other hormonal, meds at the time. So all I was on was the birth control and the Lupron from October 14th to October 20th. That's where we were. So as of October 20th, we started a whole new protocol where I was doing the Lupron still, but instead of doing 20 units, I was doing 10 units. So from October 20th to October, no, till November 3rd, actually. So for 2 weeks and a day, yes, 15 days. So for 15 days, I was doing the 10 units of Lupron, no more birth control. I was doing the S-Trace, the V-Val dot patches, and that's about it. Now the S-Trace I was doing vaginally, the Lupron, it's injection. I did every morning, 10 units of that. And then I was also doing the V-Val dot patches. I started off doing one patch, and then 2 days later I replaced it with one more patch, and then 3 days later I replaced that with 3 patches until I escalated up to the 4 patches. So 3 days after that I did 4 patches. Now every 3 days I change out the 4 that I'm using for another 4. So that was on November 3rd. On November 3rd I went in for ultrasound and lab, and my uterine lining was measuring at 11.5, so 11.5. So that's the time when we went ahead and scheduled the transfer. So 11 3rd, November 3rd, we did Lupron 10 units, the S-Trace, the Vivel dot patches I still had on. I had to go back in for a follow-up on Wednesday, November 5th, at which time I changed my Vivel dot patches again. But on that day, they just wanted to recheck my line and they make sure that it was still, progressively, thick as they wanted it to be. Then, what did we do next? This is a new calendar. I actually changed calendars like so many times. The last time I talked to you guys, this was the calendar we were on. I don't know if you can see that, but that was my calendar then. Then when I didn't have time to update you guys, this was the calendar after that. So every calendar is about 2 weeks long of a different protocol. And again, I apologize so much for not getting on here updating you guys sooner. But as you know, I'm a full-time pharmacy student. This is my last year. I'm on rotation, so I'm doing 8 hours rotation sites, and then I work. So I get off from rotation site. I work at a pharmacy, and then my sister just got married yesterday, which was November 7th. So it's been very hectic. I was her maid of honor, so I was doing so much all the time, and it's finally over because the wedding was yesterday. Now I have time to update you guys, so I'm so sorry about that, but just a lot been going on. And then on top of all of that, there's this FET that we're trying to do too. So okay, now this is my final calendar that I have that I'm updating you guys on now. So I left off telling you that on November 3rd, I'm sorry, that's not right. Yes, November 3rd, I went in for my ultrasound. And here, that can't be right. The date's not right. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So, my appointment was moved up. I was supposed to go to the doctor's office on November 3rd, but I actually went on October 31st. So, on October 31st is when I went, and my lining was measuring at 11.5. I had been on the protocol with the Lupron, the S-Trace, and the Vival dot for about 9 days. So after 9 days of that protocol, I went in. Lining was looking how he wanted to look. My estrogen levels were fine, within range, and they started me on a new protocol November 1st. So starting November 1st is when I started progesterone. So no more Lupron. I started doing 2 cc's or 2 mLs of progesterone every morning starting November 1st. And they scheduled my transfer for November 6th. And let's see. So from November 1st to November 6th, I was still doing the progesterone, Vivel diet, estrace until 2 days before the transfer. Starting 2 days before the transfer, I started the Z pack and the Medrol dose pack. And I did that until today was when I had my last, what was it? Today was the last day, November 8th, that I had my last Z-Pack pill that I had to take. But yesterday was when I finished the Medrol on November 7th. So I had my transfer on November 6th. I had to report to the center for 11:30. My transfer was scheduled for 12:30. There were several transfers scheduled for that day because when we went in, we saw several different rooms, full with patients. So we went into our room, started to drink as they have you do, empty your bladder first. Then you go into the room and you proceed to drinking. They come in and they take your vital signs. And once they know exactly when you'll be able to go in, which in my case it was about 12:40. So they came in at about 12:20 and they gave me a Valium. And at that time, they told me that the Valium is really not supposed to be used for the procedure itself. It's supposed to be for afterwards to make sure that your pelvic muscles, everything is relaxed, and to help you feel relaxed and you won't go home doing so much. The way the nurse explained it to me, she said when they take the Valium and you go home, you may normally be, I guess, kind of used to doing a lot around the house, but if you're on the Valium, you'll kind of be sleepy and it helps you to stay on bed rest. So that was the way it was explained to me. So today, the transfer was on Thursday. Today is Saturday, so we are 2 days past a 5-day transfer. Just a moment. I wanted to show you guys the babies. Give me a moment. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I needed to go in my bag and get our babies, so I wanted to show you our babies. There they are. Can you see them? Yes, they're right there. Okay, so this one here, they said didn't score so well. It was a 2AA. This one was a 4AA. And you see the little ringy thing there. My RE explained to me that it was beginning to hatch. And I know you probably heard where sometimes they may have to assist with hatching. So this particular one here, on this side here, it's began to hatch already. So she said that it was ready to grab on to something. So praying to God that it is gripping hold to something. And the other one, it just was in the straw with that one. So some surprising news was when we went in to do our consent with the RE. I was informed that I had 4 we had 19, 8 had fertilized, and we were told that 4 had made it to freeze. So when I went in and she was saying, okay, this is option A, B, C, D, you know how we're going to do this. And she said, okay, so we're going to pick straw 1 because it's the best. It has the highest grade. At the time, the 2 in straw 1 was a 2AA and a 3AA. And she said, if those don't thaw, if they don't make the thaw, then we'll do straw 2 and so on and so forth. So I was like, okay, well, we have 3 options here. And I was told we only have 4 embryos. She was like, well, no, you actually have 2 embryos in each straw and you have 4 straws. So I had 4 straws, but I don't know if I was still loopy from some medications they had given me or what the case may have been, but we have 7 that actually made it to fertilize. So upon freezing, I had a 2AA and a 3AA in straw 1, and my RE's office, they freeze 2 at a time because some I know they do 1 at a time, but they freeze 2 at a time at my office, and they try to put the 2 best graded ones in the straw together. So when we went in on Thursday, they both made the thaw successfully, but the one that was a 3AA, it kind of graduated to a 4AA because it began to hatch and it had perfect cells, so she explained. And we were really excited about that because I was told not to be too, um, strung up on the grade of the embryo. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just praying and believing in God that things will work out the way that they're supposed to. I mean, I have not yet felt nervous about it not working, but I think everybody's experience is different. So going back to, we are 2 days past a 5-day transfer, and my current meds are, in the morning we do our progesterone, 2 cc's of progesterone. I still have to do estrace 3 times a day, so every 8 hours I have to do vaginal insert of estrace tablet, which is hard because I mean those little things kind of melt on their way up, so it's really strange, but I've been trying to work that out. I'm on the last day of my Z-Pack, so this is the last day I take the Z-Pack. I've taken it already. What else? My prenatal vitamins, vitamin D, baby aspirin, and my VVL dot patches. So that's my daily protocol until we go in. Our test is scheduled for November 14th, which is on the 14th, which is on next Friday. So, as far as my symptoms are concerned, I've been experiencing a little bit of cramping. My behind is really sore from the progesterone shots. I've kind of gotten used to it. It's kind of a soreness, but the very first day was kind of more excruciating for me because I didn't know what to expect. But now it's just like a throbbing, and I kind of throw it out of my mind to help me tolerate it. I know a lot of people experience breast tenderness, nausea. I haven't experienced any of that, just mild cramping here and there. Really today I stand up at work a lot. So when I was in the pharmacy, I kind of felt this kind of like somebody like pinch and they're holding and then let go. And I felt that a couple times on my left side, just like a pinch and then let go. And it kind of would go away. So I don't really know what that is. It didn't feel like cramping, like the cramping I had experienced, before. It kind of felt like menstrual cramping, but just that pinch, just a long pinch, like they held it for like 5 seconds and then let the pinch go. And it happened about 3 or 4 times today. But I had some mild cramping last night, and yesterday was my sister's wedding. So at the reception, I do recall having a lot of cramping. There were moments I had to sit down because of the cramping, and I was really nervous about that because I was just barely 24 hours, I'm sorry, past the transfer. So I was really nervous that I was doing too much or I shouldn't have been out. And I was just praying to God, you just take control of this situation because I want to be here for my sister, but I want our FET to work out as well. And that's why I said I'm believing in God for all of this. That in spite of everything that's on my plate and everything that I'm, busy with, that this is going to happen, that this is going to work for us. My husband has been wonderful, extremely supportive, although I have been biting his head off at every chance I get. Like just a moment ago, I was eating pineapples and he ate the rest of them. And that really, I mean, it's just been every little thing. So I'm working on that. I just want to let you guys know I've been watching all your videos. You've all been in my prayers. My prayers goes out to all of you guys with your BFPs, even those with your BFNs, those who have had to start fresh cycles or new frozen embryo transfer cycles. My prayers are with you guys daily, and I just look forward to seeing more of your guys' videos, and I keep you updated when I have more news. I don't go back into the RE's office until this Friday, and that's when we'll have more news for you. There were no real restrictions that I was given, just to try to remain on bed rest for the first 24 hours, like strict bed rest 24 hours, and the next 24, I guess up to 48, was to kind of just try to not do so much, which, that second day was a little busier for me. But we are on strict pelvic rest, so nothing until after our test on Friday. My appointment, I have to report to my school on Friday, so I can't go in to get my blood work drawn until after 12. And then she said we usually call back about 2 hours later, so I'm thinking around 2:30 p.m. or something like that. We'll be hearing back from them. So really anxiously awaiting that news. I'm just so excited. Um, Again, thank God for you guys and your support more than you'll ever know. Even if you don't leave comments or subscribe, I have so much support just from looking at others' videos. It gives me just hope, to know that this is working for people. So I thank God for you all, and God bless. Have a nice day.